Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to learn about React custom hooks, how to build them and why to build them. Okay, now to make this easy and simple, we'll start with an example which is using context API, and we'll try to refactor it in the way we will turn it into a custom hook on our own. Okay, now first things first is why we do so. If you see here in our first page or in our page.js, which is the root of our application, we have a big issue here, and we are violating a big rule of React, which calls separation of concerns. And what that means is that my application is handling or managing a logic, which we are doing right here, okay, and same time it's rendering for me the UI components. And that is a big problem and big issue when it comes to the React. Okay, now how to solve this? We'll take this thing step by step. First thing, we'll try first to create a component that will hold for us all this logic, okay, or what we are doing here, so we can use it also any other place in our application if we want to. So we go to the folder, and under components I created a context folder, and I created a theme context. Okay, so what I will do, I will just put this one next to each other, and currently it doesn't have anything. So all what we have to do is just move whatever logic we hear about the theme context to this component. So for that we will need to import, of course, create context. Also we need to import the use state, because that will be now managing for me the state as well. And I'll remove it here from my root of my application. Next thing is that I need to remove the create context from here and move it right there. Great. Now next thing is that we have to remove the state from here and the function handling too, and we'll paste it right there. Great. Now next thing is that we said we want all the logic about the theme handling or the context API, whatever it is you are doing with it, we want all that logic to be out of my main components and have a standalone component to handle it. So I have to remove this as well. Okay, so we remove this from here and we put it right there, and we close it too. Now, because we'll be importing this component here or anywhere, it should accept children element, children, and then we can pass that one here. Now all what we have to do is that import this component here. So I'll say import component context and theme context, and then what we'll do, as we did before using the provider directly here, we'll just wrap whatever components we have within this theme context. Okay, now also we have to do a little bit of refactoring. We have to go to the header, and we are importing the theme context. So before we used to import from the page, but now we have to import it from the theme context, which is this lane we need to import. Okay, now we go here and we say context theme context, save. Let's go to our browser, hard reload, and let's see if this is working. Nice. Okay, that's great. So that's first step of refactoring is working. Now we're still having the same issue still. Okay, we remove all our logic here, our root application looks clean, but the theme context itself, it's still having this problem of separation of concerns violated. Okay, and in the end, when you go to your header component, all what you need is that the theme and the toggle theme. We're not using anything about the UI. Also, the other issue we'll be noticing here is that because we wrap every component within our application within theme context, that means whenever the header makes a change, okay, and if for example my content is also using this theme context, it will trigger some reusability rendering or other renderings that we don't need as well. Okay, and imagine you have a big application and not only with one context, like in our example we only have theme context. We may have theme context, we might have authentication context, we may have language context, so many. So you end up having so many like a global variables in your application, which can end up with a lot of conflicts in the end and issues. So the best thing or best solution is be able, to wrap whatever you need in your application, whatever components you need, that only components can access those global variables of yours, okay? And that we will use custom hooks now. Now what I will do, I'll go inside my folder again, and I'll create a hooks folder, okay? Then I'll create a new hook for me called use theme.js. And you see I used the use before it, so that's standards. You have to use the use keyword before in the beginning of any namings of your hooks, okay? Now enter that, and then let's import use state from React, and let's export default my function which call use theme. And this function, what we'll do, whatever the code we're doing here for handling the state and toggling, we'll move it right there, okay? And we'll just delete it from here. Nice. And we'll create const value, and that value will hold for me the theme and toggle theme, okay? And then what I need from my hook is just those values, right? So I'll just say return value. Now easily we can just go here, remove this use state from here, and import our use theme. Save this and import use theme from hooks/use theme, okay? Then we can come right here, I'll say const value equal use theme. And then we just go to the line 9 and we pass those values there. So if you can see here, all what we have done is that the state management and manipulation, we moved it out of our component, and we created our own custom hook that can take care of all this state management for us and give us back the values that we are needed. So you might think, oh my god, why we are doing all this refactoring? It's just a lot of code for no reason. Well, there are different views, different opinions, but like in this demo, for example, it's just a small, tiny example, okay? But in real-time applications, when you have huge applications and you need to do some manipulations or state management or anything like that in many different places, and also they need to be shared across as well. That's when you'll see that these custom hooks that you create, they can be a really powerful tool for you to make your life much easier and make your coding much cleaner and neater, easier to debug and bug free. So stay tuned, I will see more about custom hooks, and in the next video we will build our REST custom hook that will help us to trigger an API call or REST calls. So stay tuned.